So in 2023, there have been over 48,000 fires in the US, wildfires, and that has burned about 2.5 million acres of land. Many of these fires have occurred in California, as well as Arizona, Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, and other states. You may have heard about the fires in Hawaii on the island of Maui, and those have received the most attention to date because of the extraordinary loss of life as well as the impacts to cultural heritage. This year, the deadliest wildfire in the last 100 years in the US occurred in Hawaii. This has no comparison in terms of the loss of life. When there's a large amount of smoke in the area and you're not near the wildfire, you can protect yourself in your homes and buildings. One of the most important aspects of that is ventilation, making certain that the air coming in from outside is clean. So when there's smoke, soot, or ash in the air, the farther you're away from the fire, the less concentration it is. People near and around the fires will likely have to wear N95 respirators to protect themselves if they can't remove themselves from the area. We also sometimes stay inside if we're not evacuating, and we need to make sure that our ventilation systems can remove and clean the air that's coming in from outside. So when fires occur, there's an immediate health risk posed by the smoke, ash, materials suspended in the air. So it's important for people to move away from these fires. In addition to that, water can become acutely contaminated and pose an immediate health risk to people. From a long-term perspective, when these communities need to rebuild, they have to remove all that contamination. They have to remove the debris, the ash, the asbestos, other materials that have found their way onto people's property, or they were bound up in the infrastructure, in the buildings, and they did not necessarily pose a health risk before, but now they've been released and they do pose a health risk. People that live in areas that are moderately or highly vulnerable to wildfire should take a look around their properties. They should make certain that vegetation and trees are a good distance away from their home, because when these assets catch fire, they will then spread to vegetation and vice versa. So this year we've seen over 6,800 fires in Canada. In these fires, some of them have turned out to be mega fires. They've just gotten so big that there's no way to extinguish them all at once, so you have to let them burn. Looking ahead, what we can see and expect is that fire seasons will increase in intensity and magnitude, because we're seeing this trend over the last 50 years. The number and magnitude of fires is increasing. We're also seeing an uptick in these events called megafires. And megafires are those that exceed 100,000 acres. Megafires can not only just affect the wildland, the forests and plains, but they may affect multiple communities and even cities that are nearby.